All right. Second episode of the day, The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Happy Saturday. Let's get it again. All right. Welcome to the second episode of today. Again, I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Welcome to The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Happy Saturday, September 30th. It is 12:30. You guys know where to find all the shows: Roku TV, BS3 TV app, Roku channel, BS3TVLive.com, Spotify, Google, Apple, The Real Deal Courtney Harden. Just Google that and you'll find all the shows there. All podcast platforms, all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere you can find shows. You can find the shows anywhere there. So I'm not going to keep my guest any longer here. I want to welcome her to the show for the first time, to give her proper intro. Before I get her on here, let me get her proper intro. Stacyxsports from the A, Atlanta, not Hot Atlanta. Don't disrespect the A. From the A herself. She does a lot of different sports, the entertainment, and all those things. So, Stacy, welcome to the show for the first time. I'm excited to have you on. Really appreciate it.
Yes, no, thank you for having me. And let me just start off by saying you are the hardest working man in podcast.
Thank you.
Second episode, I need to get on my Zoom. I need to do something. I need to do more. Oh, way to go. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I do. I really do. And thank you again for we connected. I reached out and you were like, let's do it. Let's just find the day. So I appreciate you coming on this Saturday. And yeah, just want to get to know you a little bit and everything else. So again, I appreciate all the kind words. And like you said, you're a sports entertainment connoisseur. Also, like you said, but you do, like I said, you do a lot of different things. So we'll get into all of that too. So how are you doing on this Saturday afternoon? I had to think what time it was. How are you doing this Saturday afternoon?
I am doing well. I have my ear to the streets, as I'm sure that all of us do. I'm trying to follow up with Prime in Colorado. Prime is our uncle. Those are
Yes.
all on the field. They had a little rough go.
Hmm.
So I know that we are all trying to tune in to Saturday college football, but particularly I'm keeping an extra ear out for them. Besides that, good Southern breakfast, ready to go.
All right. Hey, that good Southern breakfast. Gotta love that because always good Southern breakfast out there. So it's really good, really good. So again, I appreciate you coming on and let's get started. Let's talk about you. It's all about you. This is the interview. I don't call it an interview. I say conversation. Conversation is all about you. You got the red carpet, so I like just come on down and let's just do it. So talk a little about yourself, a little bit of your background, how you got started, in sports in general, but a little bit of your background.
Okay, yes, and I will keep it brief.
Okay.
So I outside of about 9 to 5, because in this economy you have to have your hands in a lot of different pots.
Yes. Yes.
I primarily work in media, so social media, working with clients, helping establish strategy, all of those things. Sports has my heart. Sports is my love, though. I consume content by the minute,
Mm.
so I
Yes.
pride myself on keeping up with a lot of the things known and unknown in sports. I had a non-traditional sports start as a southern young lady or a southern girl. You're never really sure, or you're not really encouraged to pursue sports seriously.
Right.
So a lot of my platform is based on encouraging women to speak out, have a voice, and not
Okay.
all amicable about it. Like, you can be a little controversial, you can be a little bit spicy. Like, if you know your stuff, there's nothing wrong with saying it. Uh,
Right.
how I got started in sports is one of my favorite stories because it involves my grandmother. And every Southern grandmother loved to watch the Braves. Every Brave
Mhm.
on the TV, and sometimes the TV is watching them. You're locked in the David Justice era. That's when I started.
Okay.
Um, back when back when the Braves first started putting people on notice. They're on a roll again this season.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. But David Justice back in that era started there. So I started watching baseball. Then I transitioned into actually playing softball.
Okay.
And then that was a little bit short lived. I played for a while though until I got to fast pitch. I got hit by a pitch and I was like, oh, this is not for me.
Yes, this is enough, right?
That's everyone that it is for, but sports was never really too far from me. I was also very interested in wrestling back when it was the WWF. When
I
you had
hear you.
Triple H and X Pac and DX and the Dudley brothers, all of those people. And I never wanted Barbie dolls. I wanted action figures.
Okay.
I wanted the action figures. And of course, it was a rather peculiar request for an 11, 12-year old girl. But
Mhm.
I've always just had a love for sports. My love primarily for football grew as I got in high school. I was in the band, so I really started to observe a bit more.
Okay.
And I decided to get to know it's confusing. Sports, not sports particularly, but football is confusing if you don't know what's going on at first. So I
Right.
paid attention, fell in love with the game. And that transitions to where I am in sports now. I am actively pursuing a platform to work with athletes in post career transition. So, work with them in the middle of the career to work on community impact, brand partnerships, establishing off the field interest to help transition
Mhm.
them out of their career into a whole nother realm of possibilities. Because when you've known sports your entire life, sometimes it's a little bit scary and it does affect your mental health once you are exiting the game. Just make
Yeah.
sure that you have something to incorporate into your life that you know you love as much as football. That came from a 30 for 30 episode. I'm pretty sure we all saw that one for
Mhm.
the
Yes.
episode. And you just think, how do you make this much money, amass this much wealth within your career, and then end up with nothing, which is a big fear for a lot of athletes when it comes to transitioning out of career. So, uh, that is the platform that I'm working now. And I done took you to the rooter to the tutor for my
I
background.
love it. No, that's cool. No, I love that. I mean, it's a podcast, so you go as long as you want. And I want to say, I wanted to get to know you. Like when I reached out, I said, okay, I want to know your story. And then I think it's really good that you said, give me a voice for women in sports, which I love to have this platform for that as well. I love that you're doing that. On top of, as you said, you want to work with athletes, post career, given to hear their story off the field, off the court, and things like that. Because you said they're more than just athletes; they're people first and foremost. So I love to see that too. So I love that space that you're getting, that you are in. On top of you said, starting like you said from your grandmother, I could definitely relate because my grandmother was she used to love my grandma loved wrestling and yes, loved it. Wrestling as they call it. She was from the South too, from Georgia, and my mom and everything. So growing up, I grew up in upstate New York. That's where I was born and raised. But my family was from Georgia. They're down there south, Southerners. So I got into wrestling. What'd you say?
Where in Georgia are your people from?
The Savannah, the Savannah area. Yeah.
We see you. All right, good.
Yes, yes. So yeah, so so my grandma was all into wrestling and sports and things like that. So I could definitely relate to that. But I want to get back to the wrestling because I was a huge fan of wrestling growing up. Not so much now because
Mm,
it's not the same.
it's not. It's not. I believe the merger, the WWE WWF merger, was kind of like, well, when the WWF turned into the WWE,
Mhm.
started to kind of merge with not W. I forgot the other league, but
WCW, yep, WCW.
I was about to say WCW, and it just started to, lose a bit of its flair
Yeah.
after.
Right, right. And yeah, that was back then, like as you said, back Stone Cold, The Rock, even but that was the Attitude Era. And then yeah, but even before, I mean, I grew up with the late 80s, early 90s wrestling, Hogan
Mm,
and Andre the Giant and
oh yeah.
Ultimate Warrior, those. that was that era that you said, in the Triple H era, and then the Stone Cold, and all from there. So I was like heavy into it. So when you said wrestling, I was like, okay, I can see you in a connection of a lot of different things happening too. So, but let's go back to a little bit of the sports media. Where do you see the landscape of sports media where it is today? Regards to, you said women in sports media, it's increasing, it's getting much bigger, but there's still like room to grow and everything too. But on top of that, just in general, I just love seeing like bosses of women in sports media.
Yes, and I honestly feel like the growth of technology in the social media era is the best thing that has happened to
Hmm.
media. Media as we know it has the way that media that as we know it has been that is the way that it's been communicated has changed by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
So where you would have to wait a day or two for information, you can get it literally in a second.
Hmm.
It opens up a lot of avenues for women, particularly that are in journalism, that like to just do media and express media. They don't have to kind of depend on being picked up by a network or being signed to anyone in particular. You can
Yeah.
do what we're doing now, literally just
Yeah.
platform and start your own thing in the way that media and technology is going and social media is transmitted. Anyone can see you, anyone can pick you up. So your possibilities are literally endless. It's like you, as long as you have that knowledge, that know-how, and that drive, you can make your own way. Like nobody, you don't have to rely on it to be like doors to be open for you. You can kind of kick those in now. And
Yeah.
I absolutely love that for us.
I do too. I love it too, and I do. It's like you said. You can use this social media. Yes, social media has its ups and downs. It has its bad, it has its good. But when it's used the right way, how we use it with our platform, our voice, as you said, maybe make it a little spicy, a little bit, which is cool, which is good. You said be outspoken. As long as you have, like, say, you have a computer, a cell phone, hit record, Zoom, StreamYard, whatever it is, you can actually make something happen with the podcast, with the content creating, and all those things. So I really think it's great to see it expand, and I love seeing people. I love seeing like people like you and others just taking it and just taking it to other levels.
Yes. Yes, and I am excited to see where it is going to go, especially on like TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, which is as a millennial, we fought
Mhm.
TikTok tooth and nail, and now we can't get away from it. But it provides, I feel, one of the greatest platforms and one of the greatest avenues. I've come across so many dope female, especially sports commentators, sports media
Yeah.
individuals that have sparkling personalities, spicy takes, and are just really coming with it and giving a lot of the big dogs a run for their money. So
Right.
I am giving them their flowers while now just really excited. I'm just really excited to see where everything goes.
Me too. I'm very excited too. And as you said, you keep your ears to the streets, keep your ears to the social media and all that. What's your day to day like when you are consuming all this content? Because there's so much content. It's hard to keep up with everything. Like I said, I work a regular 9 to 5 job too, and doing the podcast, trying to keep up with all the news. Follow so many people, but it's just not enough time to really. I guess you have to just pick and choose what you want to put out there for your content. But what's your day to day like? I'm sure it's different each and every day.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. Whether you're in sports media or sports partnerships, sports ownership,
Yeah.
the day to day is never the same. And once you reconcile with that fact and wake up in the morning and realize that your day is not going to be a
Yes.
regular day, it makes everything so much easier. Uh, to the point where you have to kind of be prepared in sports media.
Right.
Not even just about accuracy; it's about timing. So you can't be 4 or 5 hours late on a breaking story and expect
Hmm.
analytics, the traffic, the traction that you want to. So it's really about staying on top of the things. Like I have my watch on, I have my phone on, I have alerts on, CBS Sports, Barstool, Complex, everyone, just making sure that you are on top of everything. You know, my personal favorites, Woj and Adam Schefter. Uh,
Yes, agreed.
Woj and Adam Schefter put me on the payroll. Anyway, so
Baby, watch, yeah, watch this, please.
stumbled across this,
Hmm.
but they're known for being on top of everything as well. So they're definitely two individuals that I'm really clued in on. So the day to day is not the day to day; is literally minute to minute, hour to hour. Because you might randomly be going through your day and oh wow, look, Damian Lillard is now a who thought
Yeah.
about that? So
Hmm.
it's like now you have to make sure that you know, of course, you know, home is taken care of with the 9 to 5, but
Yep.
now my next 30 minutes, an hour and a half is going to be about researching, getting the facts, and putting this information out, and going with content from there. Especially now that it's NFL season, we're in week 4.
Yeah.
Uh, seems like injuries are more of a story than anything else. So,
Yes.
and the day to day is just pretty much being cognizant that you have to be ready for anything.
And you have to. That you hit that right on the head. Like you have to be ready for anything because you said news come up. I mean, I've always got my phone. I work from home, so I always have my phone with me. And like I'm Adam Schefter or whatever, and pop ups come up, and you're thinking, oh yeah, Dame Lillard just got traded to where Milwaukee. Like, wait, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. We knew Dame was going to be traded, but thought it was going to be Miami. No, it just took a turn. It's like,
But
okay,
days before that, we thought it was going to be the Raptors. So
yes, right, exactly. So it's like, wait, what is going on? Dame going. Let me hold on. Let me just get into where why this happened, how this happened, and here come the news. News is spreading like wild. And then you put the tweet out, you share it, you
mhm.
retweet it, or repost it, whatever you want to call it now on Twitter. I say retweet still. You retweet it, and it's like, wait, Dame going with Giannis now? Okay. All right, makes sense. Okay, but didn't
it
see it coming.
it does. And I don't know if we're going to roll right into that since we're talking about it.
Might as well.
But
Why not? Might as well.
makes a lot of sense because Giannis is the squeaky wheel. He has been the squeaky wheel all offseason. Giannis is very much wants that
Mhm.
winning culture. He's expressed that he wasn't happy about the way that the front office, back office has been going about putting the pieces around him and in the organization to establish and continue this winning culture.
Yep.
I don't know what the Bucks were trying to do, signing his brother and then sending him to the G League. That was really a let's keep Giannis happy type of move.
Yeah.
um, they took the LA Rams approach and just
Mm.
said,
Yeah.
F it. We just gotta forget
Yeah.
those. I don't think they have a real first round pick until 2030 or 2031. They went all in on the table to get Damian Lillard, which is going to cost them roughly about $216 million altogether over
Yes.
4 years, which is why I'm pretty sure that other teams can compete with that. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
he would want nothing more than to have Damian Lillard. Anyone would be happy to have him, but 216 million over 4 years is hefty.
Hefty.
um, so the Bucks made room for it. I mean, because you are building around Giannis and you want to keep him happy, and it's a last ditch effort, but it was a good one.
It was a good one. 100% agree. I think it fits. It was a perfect fit. I think this was more of a fit for Dame going to Milwaukee than Miami because again, yes, Miami eliminated the Bucks in the playoffs, first round played in the first round last season. But getting Miami, they would have to gut most of their team just to get him. And I think, and they just didn't have the pieces that Portland wanted. Now, was it the best deal? Like with the pieces, that could be argued, but I feel like Dame going to Milwaukee now definitely catapults. They were one of the top teams anyway. Catapults them even more further in the East. They did lose Drew Holiday, which is huge defensively. That's going to be
Yeah.
a big blow. Grayson Allen, that's another big blow. A little bit of a blow too. But you had a chance to get Damian Lillard. You take that chance to get Dame time. The guy he's clutch, and that's what does Milwaukee need? Was clutch shooting at the end of games. And Damian Lillard is one of the best clutch shooters, scorers that we have because it was either Giannis trying to get a bucket
Mm-hmm.
or Middleton trying to get a bucket, but now you have somebody that can actually get a bucket in Damian Lillard. So from that perspective, offensively, it makes them better than they were with Drew Holiday. So I love the move. I know some people say, "Well, you lose defense." Yes, you do. You're gonna lose some defense, of course, but you get a chance, like I said, get Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a better player than Drew Holiday when it comes to offensively. Just it's just how it is, and they can hide some of that defense of discrepancies that Dame has with Giannis. They got Brooke Lopez,
Mm-hmm.
Middleton. They're good.
But
They're all good defenders.
he is, as far
Yeah,
as goes for the Bucks, he is still there to hold it down.
yeah, right. Exactly. So
Yes,
it just makes them better offensively. It makes them more diverse offensively. And you said Giannis was getting frustrated because he wants to win another championship. And he basically was saying, he put it out there like, maybe in a couple of years, I just want to go to somewhere I can win a championship. I think the Bucks heard him, and we're going all in with Dame, as you said. And now we got a probably 2-3 year window to make it happen and to keep Giannis. Now, if Giannis leaves, we got Damian Lillard. He'll be older, but we got Damian Lillard too on top of that. And they'll still probably make more moves after this to when they can, and just maybe not this year with all that money that they are investing with Damian Lillard.
right. Which isn't too shabby. If you're saying you're left with Damian Lillard,
Right.
oh, terrible. But you mentioned Drew Holiday being ousted, which was kind of sad because literally the day before he was saying that he wanted to retire a Buck, but that's the nature of
Yeah.
the whole game out there sometimes.
Yeah.
So he's going to Portland. We all know he's pretty much not going to stay in Portland. Portland just got Scoot Henderson. They're going to surround Scoot Henderson. So there are a few teams that have expressed interest in Drew, and I believe it's like the Celtics
Yep.
and Knicks. The Celtics, the Knicks, and the Clippers. Honestly, I feel like the Celtics would be the best move for him and for the Celtics organization. They
Yeah.
have to fill that Market Smart size hole that they left. And I feel like he would actually be a better fit in there
Agree.
than Marcus Smart for them going forward. Is Drew going to the Celtics? They're already a contender, but I believe he'll provide that little bit extra that they're going to need to try to get over that hump.
Exactly. I agree. I think Celtics is probably the best move for him. I mean, Philadelphia, if they can figure out the James Harden situation with that whole debacle, that's another interesting team. Miami, since they lost out on Dame Lillard, that why not try to go for Drew Holiday? He fits there in their culture with
Mhm.
their defense. So there are some teams. I mean, Drew Holiday can fit just about anywhere. And that's how good of a two-way player he is. So I could see him going to the Celtics. If they go and get him, like say, he's a better version of Marcus Smart because he's just as good a defender, if not better. He's a better offensive player than Marcus Smart is too. So yeah, the Celtics would really fit. That would just put them. And can you imagine that Celtics and Bucks if it comes down to that?
Oh, take all my money. Do it. Like take all my money.
Yes.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
but since you touched on Philly, I'm sorry. Were you
no, no, go ahead. Go right ahead.
touched on Philly and you touched on the foolishness?
Mm-hmm.
As a Philly native and a Philly fan, please tell me your thoughts and your feelings on this whole James Harden versus management conversation. He just had another party. Sidebar. Anybody that's clued in that might be listening that knows about the James Harden parties, holla at your girl. I would like James Harden party. They look lit. But the sign with the sparklers in the section, uh, he's doing the most. And I understand when you're unhappy and you feel like the powers that be aren't listening. Sometimes you gotta take drastic measures to get your point across. But as a Philly fan, how do you feel like this affects Harden's legacy and the season coming up for the 76ers?
for the season, it's a distraction. It's a huge distraction. They've already went through this with Ben Simmons 2 years ago now. So this seems like it's coming back down again now to Harden. Harden to me doesn't have any leverage. Like he doesn't have any, like he can voice his opinion, he can do all these things, and he's frustrated. He felt like Daryl Morey's a liar. He said one thing and now he's not. He wants to be traded, but this is the Harden way. This is unfortunately his same name as me. This is the Harden way that this is what he does. He got his way out of Houston. Houston gave him everything he wanted. Everything he wanted. He had the team he wanted. He made the moves he wanted. Daryl Morey seemed like he did everything he could for him and everything. And now he got his way out of there. That situation. Goes to Brooklyn, plays with a super team. KD, Kyrie. Yes, there was some issues there, chemistry and all that, injuries, all that. So that was a bust. He got his way out of there. Now he's in Philly. They can't get out of second. Got past second round. Last 2 years in the playoffs, same exact thing. So this is the Harden way. This is just. It's no surprise. He wants to get paid. He wants out of Philly. I don't know where else he could go where it'd be any better situation. I know he said the Clippers and other teams, but Harden's not the same player. He's not the same player he was 5 years ago. He's a shell of himself. And when it comes playoff time, it's been like this his career. So I can definitely see. I don't know. He's definitely not going to report. I don't know if they're going to trade him. It's a wait and see.
And that is the most painful part. It is a
Mm-hmm.
wait. The season starts in 60 days?
Yeah.
Like
Less
so
than that. Yeah.
it's yeah. And just heart goes out all to 76ers fans. You made it through the Ben Simmons era to get James Harden, and now you're here. Now you're going through something else. It seems
Right.
like we're fine piece as a team. As well as Joel Embiid. Sorry for Joel Embiid. Like you just he just also just wants to win a championship, and it's always something extra. But I personally think that Morey isn't going to trade him out of spite.
Mhm.
Like it's like, no, you're going to stay.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit here and you're going to eat your food.
Yeah, you opted in, and if I promised you, or if I didn't promise you, or you had your opportunity to say no, I'm gone, I want to leave. But like you said, out of spite, he's gonna keep him. He's not going anywhere, and I can see him just being disruptive. He just probably won't report. They have a new coach, Nick Nurse, and it's one of those things like Joel Embiid. I would not be surprised if Joel Embiid after this season demands a trade
Hmm.
and says, I can't win here. I put my all, and we don't have the situation. Now they get Drew Holiday, and then that would remedy some of the problems. That would remedy a lot of the problems, I should say. And they would have a legit guard that can shoot, that can defend, that can score, all those things. He'll just bring professionalism to this team. And Joel Embiid would be excited, be happy, but I don't know. I think it's Milwaukee, Boston above Philly as of right now, even as constructed as it is. And I think even Philly might even take a step back a little bit too. So we'll see.
Yes, we're going to keep you all in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Yes. Thoughts and prayers for Philadelphia. I mean, I do have my Eagles. They're 3-0. So that's always that's to me, that's my favorite team anyway in Philadelphia. So got the Eagles playing well, and we'll see what happens. But Philly, they're in order. The Sixers they're going to rude awakening heading into the season right now with that James Harden dangling over. So we'll see what happens. But before I let you go, I want to talk about your Atlanta Braves and what they've been doing over the last
On
couple of years.
a year.
Fire, yes, another dope season, another great season heading into the playoffs. How excited are you with this version of the Atlanta Braves and moving forward into the playoffs, maybe heading to the getting into the World Series?
I am super excited because we want the Falcons just to so bad,
Mm,
so
yes.
bad. It's like the MLS, our team, the United, they've won a championship. The Atlanta Dream has won a championship. The
Yep.
Braves championship. So it's just like Falcons, please, let's go. But the Braves definitely have been consistent and they have
Mm-hmm.
down. And the most important part of that was after trading Freddie Freeman, they put some pieces immediately in that kept them competitive, kept them in the game, and put them over the top.
Yeah.
Like they're having a historic season right now. Acuna by himself is having a historic season, and they have 3 more games, I believe, to break the record. I forgot exactly what the record is at the moment. It's escaping me. But they're just so fun to watch. And it's so fun to be in a city, in a stadium, or a ballpark where there's a winning culture. Like, we
Yeah.
expect less out of them. Like last year, we were disappointed. Last season, we were disappointed. Like, what's going on?
Mhm.
What we do? This is not
Yeah.
what.
This is not normal. Yes.
Right. So we expect nothing less for them make it back to the series, the World Series this year, and they're
They're right there. They're going to be right there in the mix. Like, again, one of the favorites to come out of the National League, and they've been putting a historic season together. Yeah, I could see them again representing the National League in the World Series because you said they're having fun, they're dominant, they're winning, they got the pieces to really make a run. And again, they have all the pieces, and I'm looking forward to see how this transpires into what this is going to do for the World Series, the playoffs, and the World Series. So shout out to the A.
don't worry, all over my timeline. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure. I'm looking forward to all the content and everything too, and everything. I cannot wait. So, um, Stacy, this has been so much fun. I mean, we could have went on. There's so many other topics, but I
Let
don't want to keep you too long.
I'll go.
I don't want to keep you as long. We could have went a couple more hours, but I'm going to keep it there. But the last one I know you did, like you were on the Mike Bomb show, and I love that show and enjoyed all the content you did for that. Talk a little bit about that. No, I don't think you're not doing the Mike Bomb show anymore, are you? Did
Yeah. So collectively decided to just kind of table it for the moment.
okay,
Everyone just kind of needed a break, but definitely an amazing experience. I love those ladies.
yeah,
Hey, Kara, nice. Listen, you're my girls. Um, so excited to get that started back again. Currently every Saturday I am on Power Boys Radio 1071 doing segments for sports. So I kind of continuing on with that, also doing my own personal sports media and
yeah.
sports content as well.
Okay, yes, I've had Shay Max Sports. I had her on the show. We chopped it up. I think, oh geez, it's been a while. Sometime earlier this year, I had her on the show. So it was only right. I have all three of you guys on the show. But I enjoyed listening to you three together. So that was a dope show, and look forward to more content from you. So let everyone know, Stacy, where they can find you on social media all over the pot and the podcasting, the content, all those things.
Yes, so you can find me on TikTok, Stacyxsports, for all of the short and long form content. You can find me on IG at darn that Stacy J, on Twitter, Stacy X Sports. So if it's not Stacy X Sports, it's going to be at darn that Stacy J.
I love the name. Darn that Stacy J. You're like, darn that Stacy J. What did she say and what did she do
Yes,
now?
see, get it. You
Mhm.
get it.
Yes, yes, I get it. But it was a pleasure get to know you, your backstory, all these things. We got to hopefully can do it again. Like I said, once I have my first guest, once I have a guest on for the first time, you are more than welcome to come back on anytime, anywhere, any way. So I really appreciate your time, appreciate it,
Thank you.
your perspectives and everything. I'm glad we connected. And again, I thank you. Can't thank you enough.
No, thank you again for having me. And whenever you're ready, I'm ready. You know where to find me now.
Yes, I
Like,
do.
hey, let's get it. Like, okay.
All right, let's do it. Got the email. I got the email. I got the social. So yes, we are. So yes, we'll definitely do this again. I can't wait. And if the Braves, if they make the World Series and win the World Series, we'll do a show.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And listen, I'm going to let you know in advance. I'm going to show out. I'm going to have all the decor. I'm going to all the drip, all the
No
braid,
doubt.
the hat, the glasses, the shirt. I'm just letting you know. I might even have a fake trophy. There-
Do your thing with that because it's like you said, it's a once in a like that to celebrate that. You said you celebrate the World Series. I see when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I went all out, bought all the memorabilia, bought T-shirts, hoodies, everything I could. Was at the parade. I was just all in. So if they win another Super Bowl, I was going to be the same thing. So I get it. I totally get it.
Yes, and before we go, Philly Philly fans are a bit scary sometimes. Well, a little flexible. I remember I was working in Delaware, actually, Wilmington, Delaware, about 20 minutes away from
Yep.
downtown.
Mhm.
This was the year that the Falcons played the Eagles in a playoff game.
Okay. Mhm.
And I was going to go. And they said, absolutely not. We know your mouth. You cannot go up there. You cannot go into the Eagles stadium being a Falcons fan the way that you talk and make it out. I feel like you have all come a long way since the Donovan fans and their back
Mhm.
for. But y'all are intense. But I mean, when you're putting W's up on the scoreboard, I get it. I feel I would be cool too. When the Falcons were 2-0, you couldn't tell me anything. What are you talking about?
Right, right. I say this, they're very, very passionate. There are those knuckleheads, Eagle fan knuckleheads, or Philly fan knuckleheads. I would say that, but for the most part, they can be on their best behavior for the
Mhm.
most part. But there are those ones where, especially, there's certain opposing fans that Eagle fans, Dallas Cowboys are, for instance, Dallas Cowboy fans is one of the fans that the Eagles cannot stand, division
Who
rival, all that.
like Cowboys? I feel
Right.
like fan. Listen. I am not at all individually judging you, just as a group,
Exactly.
as a
Yes.
whole,
As a collective, yes.
if you will. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Yes. 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 So that's where it gets a little rowdy when it comes to Eagle fans. But for the most part, I think Philadelphia sometimes gets a bad rap, but there are those ones that make it that way. So, but it could be, yeah, it could get a little dicey, what you could say, to say the least, for opposing fans, and I don't like that experience for the fans. It's like it's a football game, let's just cheer for who we, just cheer for who we like, and then just leave it at that. Respectable, and everybody goes home safe. That's what it should be about. So, but yes, they are very passionate, very intense, to say the least. So, but again, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you again for coming onto the show. And like I said, the invite is, you're always welcome to come back on.
Thank you, and I'm going to take you up on that.
Absolutely, absolutely, anytime, definitely. All right, well, you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy the weather. Looks like some sunshine's coming out here in Philly, so I'm about to go enjoy this weather. So again, I appreciate you, and I'll be sharing this with you on social media.
Perfect. Yes. Enjoy your day. We
All
will
right,
chat soon.
all right, definitely. All right, have a good one.
Thank you as well.
All right, have a good one. All right, that is a wrap for the show. Second episode 130. Stacy X Sports. Check her out on all social media platforms. Appreciate her coming on to the show. Stacy X Sports. Follow all her content, and yeah, wherever you get podcast. She's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, Stacy X Sports. All right, well, that is a wrap for the show. Um, can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Continue to follow The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Follow BS3 Network, BS3 Sports. We're here. We're here. We're not going anywhere. More content coming on a lot of different things: sports, entertainment, movie and TV reviews, music reviews, travel, a little bit of everything. We got it for you. BS3network.com, BS3TVLive.com, on the Roku, BS3 TV, Roku channel. All right, that's a wrap for the show. Everyone stay safe. God bless as always. Peace.